What is up, everybody? In this video, I built a fully functional homemade race sim. Now, it's already built. I'm not going to show you guys the building process. You guys might think you want to see it, but trust me, it's very boring. And if you were to watch it, you would think I'm a total idiotic dumbass. So the reason why I made this is because I have always wanted to be a pilot for years now. And I've been putting in hours on flight sim, whatever, and I kind of realized becoming a pilot is really hard. And is it gonna be worth it? I barely get like any sleep, and I just low key it just doesn't seem like the job for me. So I got to thinking, what if I still follow that path? But I also practice how to race. And as a side hustle, I learned to race, and maybe I get noticed or something like that. And maybe get an F4. And like I've flown RC planes too and everything. I love it, but I don't think I love it as in I want to do it every day. But it would seriously be the dream to be a sim racer YouTuber. That'd be so nice. So please help me get to my goal and like and subscribe. It would help out a ton. But basically, the sim I use is assetoo corsa. It's a very popular and probably one of the most played race sims out there. I've used it a little bit on keyboard and mouse. I really like it. I mean, from my experience, the physics are pretty realistic. But I'm gonna just skip to the part where I'm loaded up in the headset and I'm driving. So let's get right to it. Okay, y'all. So right now, what I have is for the track, I'm doing this one. I haven't really practiced much of it. I just practiced for like 5 minutes, just a couple laps, just get used to it. For the physics, I have them on the most like realistic possible, except for I turned down fuel consumption and damage just because I'm gonna crash a couple times, and I don't want to have to do pit stops, so I just turned those off. Um, so yeah, why is it on the drift track? I did not want to do that one. So yeah, we're just gonna get right into it. I'm doing this F1 kind of car. I'm practicing on this one for a while, so we'll see how it is. I just gotta let it load in. I gotta look like directly straight, or else I gotta restart the entire game to like make me look straight, and it's really annoying when I have to do that. Perfect. Okay. Yep, we did it perfectly. All right. Now I just gotta put my cursor, hit that shit. All right. I'm just gonna put this all the way there. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of out of the way there. All right. Anyways, let's get right into it. So, the reason that made like what made me want to make a race sim is that I started playing just any race sim in general, which was Forza Horizon 4, when I was about like I'd say 7 or 8. Because when I was about 5, my parents divorced when I was 4, and when I was 5, my mom, obviously she had trouble keeping track of life's problems and entertaining 3 very young children. So she got us all an Xbox One and just kind of threw it at us and whatever. Now, the only game I would play religiously was Lego Avengers. Only game I would ever play. Right? I wouldn't play any other game because, I don't know, Lego Avengers was just fire. It was peak. And then, when I was about 7 or 8, I discovered Forza Horizon, and I got the 4th one. Um, and I played it until I was about 10 or 11, and then I kind of just stopped playing it over time because I got bored of it. The map was small, there wasn't a lot of cars, whatever. And then whenever I got to about, I'd say 11, 10 or, I'd say 11 or 12, I got Forza Horizon 5. And it was the same there. When I got to about, right when I turned 13, I got really bored of it because, I mean, the map was small, there was much to do. I already got a bunch of the cars. I was really bored of it. And it wasn't really, oh my god, what the hell? Sorry, I barely remembered that was there. But basically, I got really bored of it. And race sims at the time were not super crazy cockpit setups like you see today. They were basically just a Logitech wheel slapped onto an Xbox One at the time. Um, so there wasn't really much to them. So they weren't realistic nor fun. They were very video gamey. They were very simple, and they were nothing like really like real driving. Um, and then kind of what sparked my interest again is I was flying our seaplanes with my grandpa, and he brought up the idea. Said, "Do you want to drive my car in an empty parking lot?" He has like a Ford Focus, I'm pretty sure. And I was like, "Why wouldn't I? That sounds fun." No, I drove it, and I did a pretty darn good job. And it made me start thinking of race sims again. I was like, man, I wonder what these race sim setups are looking like. So later that day, I got home. Before I went to bed, I looked up, on TikTok, just race sim setup. Um, and I found these crazy sims, and I saw a couple where they were made out of wood, and I said I could do that, but I didn't really think much of it until just recently. I started remembering it again, literally yesterday. And yesterday I talked to Matt. I was thinking for a while. I was like, I really want to build a racing sim cockpit, like a sim rig. And he's like, well, make a design on paper, and I'll take a look at it, and I'll see. And I was like, all right, sweet. Now, it was actually really convenient that I came back up with it because I've been dealing with the stress. Like, I'm in band and my trumpet, like, broke. And I have a concert on Tuesday. So it's in the shop right now. I don't know. It's just stressful because, oh my god. I forgot about that turn again. But, um, yeah, so we built it. It took us around 4 hours and we finally finished it. And it was amazing. Best feeling ever. So I hopped into it, and it just felt so realistic. Even though, like, I have a really cheap Amazon wheel, which is nothing special. What the hell? I'm a horrible driver. Never mind. I got a really cheap Amazon wheel, so it's nothing special. Um, and I mean, yeah, like, dude, it feels like regular driving for some reason. It feels no different. Um, yeah, I mean, it's just inexplainable. So, yeah, I started getting back into it. I started practicing some laps. And on the map I was kind of talking about earlier, that I've been mostly just practicing on, I got like a really fast lap time. It's I think I got like 2.2 seconds or something on like a 5,200 some meter track, which, listen, I don't really know how to compare it much to things, but I do know that that's definitely faster than I would have done originally back when I was playing Forza when I was younger. I do not know how to turn. I think my break points are off. Um but I mean, yeah, dude, it was amazing. I enjoyed it a lot. And it's definitely at this point now where I think I should break a little beforehand on turns. I need to break earlier. That's my problem here. I'm breaking too hard and too late. I need to break earlier. But I mean, yeah, dude, it was amazing. It, like, after I finished building it, I had to do something. I forgot what it was, but I had to do some sort of chore of some sort. I was like, all right, yeah, let me set up the thing we just built, because we built it in like 4 different pieces, and to where you could just unscrew and screw them back into each other. So I was like, all right, let me bring this all this shit upstairs, and let me put it together, and let me just test drive like a lap or two, and then I'll do whatever I need to do. And my dad was pissed because I ended up having so much fun. I did 2 whole hours of just nonstop laps. It was so fun, and I was so ass. I've definitely improved throughout the day, but I was just so ass. But I still had so much fun. It was a blast. Um. So yeah. Uh. But definitely, it's like I feel like fuck. Um. Like, becoming a pilot is, I mean, it's not as hard. If you have experience flying in sim, then it'll flight school won't be so hard. It's the problem with it is, number one, flying feels boring, and number two, my job as a pilot could easily get replaced by AI. Like, no kidding. Like, they could just throw in the cockpit, like minimum controls that a civilian can understand in case of emergency, and just control it completely through AI. And that is a very possible future that we all as humans face. Um, Now, the thing with that is, if I get a job and I put all my money on being a pilot, and I have loans for flight school, and my job's taken by AI, what am I gonna do? But with racing like this, it's a sport, you know. It's it's a sport. People don't want to watch robots race; they want to watch humans race. So no matter how advanced technology gets or AI gets, people I'll be able to keep my job, which is great. It's amazing. I also just feel like I'm more well fit for it rather than being a pilot. I feel like being a pilot, honestly, and I'm saying this confidently, once you remember the controls and where the buttons are, piece of cake. It's nothing, right? You know where everything is. You can do it in your sleep. It's so easy. Um, but with racing, it's a completely different world of break points and stuff like that. It's harder. And overall, I think it's just more fun. And I've always had this need for speed. Because when I was younger, and still sometimes now, my grandpa's a little old, so I don't do it a lot now. But I would ride on his motorcycle all the time, and there'd be very rare times where we would go 100 miles an hour on the highway, on like an empty highway, and I would just be like, "Whoa, this is amazing!" And I would have so much fun, dude. And I know it was dangerous, and honestly, we shouldn't have been doing shit like that. We shouldn't have been on the highway on his big ass Harley. But man, it was so fun. And it's ever since then, like I've just always had this need for speed and fast cars with wind in my face. So to to be a racer would be nice, but I'd rather be a sim racer too, because not only can I do all of that from the comfort of my own house, but it's not dangerous. I don't risk crashing and losing it all. Which is also, it's a bigger risk to crash and have to retire early than have AI take over your job. So I'm never gonna make that turn, am I? I'm never gonna make that turn. So in the end, it's weird, but sim racing, you do it from the comfort of your own home. It's fun, and overall, there's just less of a risk to it. Um, but yeah, it's just like, I feel like a job like that is just fit for me, especially because I have the reaction time, and for like a bunch of force feedback, I have that strength, that core strength, and I mean, man, I just enjoy it so much. And I feel like sim racing is the only hobby I've actually wanted to sit down and do. See, I have a lot of hobbies, like a lot, like hella hobbies. And sim racing's the only one where I've actually felt motivated to genuinely sit down and do it. I've like I find, because let's say it's 9:30, right? I'm not even tired, and I just feel too worn out to give into my hobby. But with sim racing, I've I've actually felt motivated to sit down, set everything up, and want to do it because it's that fun. Um, so yeah, it's definitely something I really enjoy doing. Um, but yeah, but when, oh my god, horrible turn. But when me and my dad were building this, it was, man, when we built this thing, it was so fun. It was it was just two guys, and we have like just extra wood everywhere, and it was just two guys fucking around in a garage, drinking some, root beer or something bullshit like that. Oh my god, I keep forgetting about that turn. It was just two guys fucking around in a garage, drinking some root beer or whatever, Mountain Dew, and just building something. It's just straight out of wood. which is like, I'm gonna be honest, that's the most manliest thing anyone could ever do. Now, we weren't drinking beer, which would make it even more manly. I Do I suck at this track or what? I'm gonna just like stop, and then I'm gonna reset myself, and then I'm gonna go. But I mean, we weren't drinking beer, so it wasn't really a manly thing. But we were two guys fucking around building a big contraption out of wood. That's the most manliest thing I can think of personally. But anyways, in the end, I enjoyed building this thing a lot. And I mean, if I could choose between having a proper sim rig and this, I would choose this because me and my dad built this. And we had a hell of fun. Alright. Again. In neutral. Or reset myself. Break earlier. Break earlier. Break earlier. Okay, I'm good. Okay. I'm fully reset now. And I'm gonna break earlier, I swear. But anyways. I've also done a lot of like indoor electric karting. Really fun stuff. I mean, which is also kind of, I'm choosing a different map. I mean, like, I have to. Like, I cannot with this map. I gotta get up and choose a different map. Okay, come on. Okay. I have to. I cannot with this one. But karting. I've done a couple times, which also kind of helped me like remember. Like, karting helped me kind of remember about sim racing. And man, like, karting is fun. The only thing I don't like about it is just the traction. They don't have good traction with indoor karting. And with indoor karting is there's lots of small, like, tiny turns with it because it's indoor and they need the space to kind of like they need to fit everything inside of the inside. So with indoor karting, you like there's so many tiny turns with no traction, and their rule, at least at the place I go to, is no drifting, which is like that's a no brainer, right? I mean, you don't want to drift on these little shit bricks, into other people because most people don't know how to drift and they're gonna try it. But whenever the turns are so rough and so hard, like how can you not drift? Because like I don't know what I'm doing, you know. I mean, kind of not. What is this track? Where's the track I had in my mind? I think it was this one. Yeah. I don't think it was that one. I think it was. It was this one? No. What the hell is it? It's somewhere, man. Not that one. What the? What am I thinking of? Oh my god, which one is it? I'm pissed off here. Which one was it? Which track was it that I'm thinking of in my head currently? It's. I don't think it was that one. Come on, if I don't find this now, I'm just gonna get pissed and find a random track. Okay, I'm on this one. So my guess is the one I'm thinking of is actually. Is it this one? No. I think it's like. I think it's this one. I think it's this one. Alright, we'll get started on this. But karting, like indoor electric karting or whatever, definitely started a spark with me too about wanting to race. It's fun. I mean, you only go 30 miles an hour, very slow on these little doop carts. And I mean, it doesn't matter though. I mean, it's a blast. It's a great, great time. Um, I like enjoyed myself so much during that shit. I mean, it was great, and I would beat everyone for the most part. There would be a couple times where like my older brother would win, but like I just ignored it, man, and like I beat everyone 2 times or like 2 out of 3 times, you know. Um, so yeah, I haven't done much of it though, but I do want to go back for my birthday because then again, I turn 14 like very soon, like literally in 2/3 of a month. Um, so you know, but I I'm not sure. There's 3 paths I could take as a career. So path number one would be a pilot, um, which could branch out into a couple different paths, like what kind of pilot. Branch two could be like a sim racer, because that has been on the rise. Sim racing has been on the rise to be more of maybe like a mainstream thing too. Or three, I could be in general racer, which becoming an actual like racer is, I missed that turn completely. Becoming an actual racer is very hard. I mean, I've never tried to, but the thing is you have to start out with karting, and it takes years. I'm talking at least like 7 or 8 years. Maybe 6 if you're lucky. But you got to start out with karting. You got to do enough in karting, to get notice. And I just lagged out. Sorry. I don't know if y'all saw that, but in my headset, I'm lagging right now. Um, why am I? Okay. Uh, I lagged a little bit. All right, we're good. I think I gotta get up and shit. I gotta do something really quickly. Why am I going? Why am I still going? Stop. Okay, I think I'm good. But what was I talking about here? I was talking about career paths. Um, you gotta start with karting, and you gotta win enough races, do enough to either A, get noticed and have someone reach out to you, or B, beg for sponsorships to pay for F4 and maybe get lucky and have one accept you. But um you gotta get into F4, which if you have daddy's money and you can just buy your way into F4, then like man, you're loaded. You're great. Um but if not, you just gotta hope you get a sponsor that'll pay for it. And then you gotta do enough in F4 for a season to get up to F3, which is even more expensive, and you better hope you have sponsors or daddy's money. Then you got to get an F2, which is even more expensive, and then F1 finally, which is I'm actually not sure. I haven't looked into it, but becoming a racer, in the end, you spend a lot of money to earn a lot of fun money, like earn a lot of money that you had fun making. I need to break way more. I have a blanket over me right now. It's restricting me a little bit, but I'm not gonna blame everything on that blanket. But I mean, yeah, like I think the easiest path would honestly be becoming a pilot. The second easiest would be an online sim racer. Third, which is just the hardest, is being an actual racer. I do not know how to brake. I'm just gonna mash my brake for a second. Remind myself that it's there. All right, we're good. I'm gonna rest my feet on this like wood instead of the actual pedals too. But it's like the safest one though would be an online sim racer, because it's like worst comes to worst, you break a finger on the wheel, or like you pull a muscle. That's the worst injury you can get. Maybe if you have a crazy hydraulic setup, you get flung across the room. That's worse. But as a pilot, I mean, as long as you know what you're doing, you're not going to ever have one crash as a pilot. But, I mean, you still risk it. And, I mean, as an actual racer, I mean, you could be racing and it like you could be having the most perfect lap, but if someone runs into you, goodbye, bitch. Like you're done. Like, you're gone. But, yeah. I don't know. I think instead of focusing so much, because, again, I'm very young. I'm turning 14 very, very soon. I think in the end, I should stop worrying about the future and just live my moment as a kid. Because I feel like I also do spend a lot of time worrying about the future and my career path and how I'm going to do in high school. And I don't stop to just enjoy myself as a kid and just do what I like. And I don't have to turn whatever I'm good at into a career, and I can just be good at something, you know? So, you know. But I think in the end I just want to be somehow popular on social media and just be some sort of an influencer in one way or another. I don't really care how. I mean, gaming, reaction, anything will work. I don't really care. I just want to be some sort of online influencer. Um, because I mean, like, not only is the job easy, but it's like I get bullied a lot in school for just being myself. Because it's sad to say, I'm just a weird kid. I got a weird personality. I mean, I'm very loud and I talk a lot. Um, so people just like bully me. They don't like me. So it's like if I can be an influencer, I can be big and I can be a celebrity. Not only do I prove them wrong, but it's like they would realize they actually like my personality, because if the most famous streamer has the personality of me, obviously, the most famous streamer, then everyone will like me and I'll prove everyone wrong. And not only that, but I can get validation that not everyone hates me and I'm popular. Like Jinxie, for example. The way Jinxie acts um is like he's if he were to just act like that in public, which how whatever personality he has, I'm sure he probably got bullied at school just a little bit. Um, and it's like now that he's Jinxie, if you went to school with Jinxie, you wouldn't care how weird he is. You'd be like, I go to school with Jinxie, dude. Like I'm the shit. Like you would be genuinely like, yeah, I'm the shit. Which I mean, everyone would. I'm not putting anyone down for that. I'm just saying like you know, it's all about fame and money. People only care about you. In reality, if you're famous, have a lot of money, or you're dead. Um, which is like sad, but it's somewhat true. Because also, I mean, like, I'm talking about the majority. There's still people that care about you, even if you were broke, no one knew you, and you know, you were alive. Um, but it's like if I become internet famous, whatever, an influencer, not only do I not have to deal with people that don't like me and just hate my personality and hate my guts, I also don't have to deal with a regular everyday job. I can live life how I want. And these influencers will be like, sorry I haven't been posting, it's so hard. But I mean, like, editing is a lot for me, but that's because I have it on top of schoolwork. It just editing and just making videos, you're spending maximum 5-6 hours a day making YouTube videos, which you get to wake up at what 10 a.m. and then go all the way through till 10 p.m. So you get 12 hours of sleep and you work 6 hours a day. That's perfect. That's like a dream job. Um, so yeah, if I was also thinking about investing in the stocks, but you can't make much of a living on stocks. You'd have better luck just doing that as a side hustle and working as a bartender or something. And that combined money would get you to be like a, you know, what do you call it? Or get you like a good yearly salary and have you live like a comfortable life. But I also want to do something that makes me happy. And I mean, like racing of some sort. I mean, I'm a very competitive person. I like being competitive. I have the personality to be a social media influencer or just, a racer in general. Like, I'm perfect for the job like that. I just need to put in the work. The work is insane. The main reason I just farted, I don't know if y'all heard that, side note, but
like the reason why people with big dreams, or a lot of people with big dreams, fail so hard is because it's not easy. You can't just take out a loan. Like starting a business, you can't just take out a loan, go, I'm starting a business, and start a business. I failed that turn so bad. You can't just tell yourself you're starting a business and start a business. There's so much work that goes into it. It's crazy. Um so there's lots of work that goes into making a business or doing, whatever. The more yearly money you want to make per year, you don't just get it. The way salaries work and making money works is the more work you do, the harder work you do, and the more people you influence or the more people that notice you, the more money you make. That's why social media influencers, they don't like they don't really do much work, but a bunch of people notice them and see their work, therefore they make a bunch of money. Um so yeah, it's oh shit, okay. Um yeah. I think my biggest goal in the future is I have these goals for what jobs I want, but in the end, my biggest goal is just to work a job I somewhat enjoy and just live comfortably. Maybe have a wife and 2 kids or whatever. That's the dream. Just having a wife, 2 kids, and living comfortably. You know, like being able to afford random expenses that come up. Like your dog gets really ill and you need to spend $5,000 on a surgery. Being able to afford stuff like that is the dream. It's like that's what matters the most about your future in the end. Um, but yeah, I think the easiest job to get, honestly, probably right now is a social media influencer. The only thing about being a social media influencer is building an audience is it's a weird thing. Um, Now I've been really inconsistent with just social media in general, so I've never gotten the chance to genuinely build much of an audience. But building an audience is it's weird. You have to be consistent. And basically, how building an audience works is um someone will watch your video. They'll be like, "Oh, cool, that's a cool video." Maybe they'll tell a couple people about it, but they'll mostly keep it to themselves. And then the video will come up on someone else's feed and they'll go, oh, it has one view, I'll check it out, they'll see it, they'll go, pretty cool. And over time, people will tell people and they'll grow. But you also have to take into account over time too, people are going to stop watching your videos, or they're not going to want to watch them anymore, or they'll watch a video and just pass it up. So building an audience is hard, especially because it takes so long to get people to actually be your audience. And when you take that into account with the number of people leaving, you make barely any progress in a year. So it takes many years. But if you want to build an audience, I would not, for me personally, I just wouldn't stream. Building an audience with streaming is very hard because you're streaming, like the streams release after they're streamed, but no one wants to watch a stream after it was streamed. It feels weirdly lonely in a way. But making YouTube videos is a good way to build an audience. And then after making YouTube videos, streaming is like a good way to engage with that audience. And then if you want, you can get right into streaming, which, I mean, if it was up to me, I would stream more than make videos like this because I don't like editing and shit. Like publishing videos is weird, but you know. I also too at my school, the good thing about being the weird kid, I guess, that gets bullied, is because there's like a bunch of weird, quote unquote, weird kids in my school. I wouldn't say I'm weird. I just say I have an odd personality that people can't touch with, especially because everyone now just likes that nonchalant personality. People, I don't want to like toot my own horn here and say I'm the greatest person to ever be alive, but I will say I am definitely more mature than a lot of kids in my grade. with a very odd and outgoing personality. So people don't like me because I'll be honest, they're pretty insecure, and to see someone not insecure kind of pisses them off. Um, so yeah. But there's a pretty good amount. I'd say there's probably about in total 20 to 30 quote unquote weird kids in my school. And man, I connect with them so well. Now I might just be a weird kid. I'm not sure. But I connect with them so well. We relate a lot. And like it gets to a point where it's like you realize being in this bullied position really lets you figure out your real, like the real friends out there. It helps you figure out who's really there caring for you, you know? Because if you're popular, people want to be friends with you for the status. They want that status. Um, so to be able to be that popular person, you got to give up having like actual real friends. But being on the lay low, people will want to be friends for you, you know, because you're weird and people don't like your personality. But people that can bend and like your personality are real friends, which is nice, which is great. Um, so although I would love to sit here and complain about being bullied for my weird personality and just being a quote unquote weird kid, I also kind of have to sit down and appreciate it's great, man. It's like I have a low amount of friends, but man, are they real? Like, they're there for me. The only problem is getting girls, which I'm not too worried about. I don't really care for girls. I mean, you know, I'm about to be a high school freshman. Um, so you know, it's just not something I need on my agenda, especially because like I've had relationships, you know, middle school or whatever. Especially over the summer, I had a pretty deep relationship over the summer with some crazy emo chick. Man, we're in middle school and she was so attached. It was sad, but basically, uh, yeah. I mean, it's just there's no need. I got schoolwork, I got homework, I got real life problems I got to deal with. It's just a girlfriend's not on my agenda for things I need to deal with. And I mean, the relationship's gonna end in a fiery ball, like a big ball of fire. So what's the point, you know? Just for the relationship to end for whatever reason, especially because we're young and immature and we don't know what we're doing. For what? You waste all this effort on nothing. So I don't really mind the girls. I mean, it'd be nice to have a loving girlfriend that was there for me. But I mean, I got friends, man. Um, so I'm not too worried about that stuff like that. I mean, other than like life is great. You can sit here and look at all the things you don't have and wish you had more, but like I gotta appreciate the things I have. I mean, look at me. I'm in like this cool racing sim. I I got friends, man. I go to a good school and get a good education, man. Like sometimes you just gotta sit and enjoy the things you have, and you know whether you're depressed or not, and you whether you like want to die, you value no one's life, or you completely value your life over others, or you value others like people's lives over you. You just gotta sit and like respect and just think like, man, I have a life. There's people out there who died and they wanted life. You know, there's people out there dying every day that don't want to die. And death is scary. You might sit here and be, man, I wish I was dead. But if you were to have a gun to your head, like you'd be scared, you'd be terrified. Because I mean, sure, it's a gun coming out of nowhere, but it's like you don't really know how much you value life till you're on the verge of death. It's the same with like you don't know how much you actually truly value something till it's taken away from you. So I mean, I think everyone just needs to take some time and just sit back and enjoy what they have. You know, we all want more, but man, just enjoying what you have is a beautiful skill. Um, Now I think too is why people now are so anxious and sad. It's just because they have this weird view on the world. And I mean, if you can take a person like me with a very low popularity, or like very low social status, like basically going nowhere in life almost. I mean, well, I wouldn't say I'm going nowhere in life. I'm saying I don't really have my future planned out fully. Um, but I mean, like, man, it's like anybody can enjoy life. I mean, there's homeless people out there with no home, barely a blanket, sleeping in the snow that, I mean, really enjoy themselves, really enjoy life. So it it just it takes some real, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just if you can really actually sit back and enjoy what you have, you're a real one. You are the best kind of human out there. Um, which I think more people should do. I just see a lot of people, and in the end, everybody's spoiled to some extent. And I just wish people would just, just respect everything. I also wish people had a lot more empathy. I mean, I could sit here and wish all I want, but it's not going to happen. But, like, you know, I wish people had more empathy. Like, if you can sit here and bully me for being weird all you want, or give me weird looks, but put yourself in my shoes, man. Look at it from my point of view. Like, do you think I want to hear the same jokes about how I look like Sid the Sloth all the time? Like, do you think I want to hear the same bullshit about how I'm weird? Like, no, and just like be okay, and just leave it, man. You don't got to be rude to everyone, because in the end, if you're rude to everyone like that, everyone you find weird, if you're rude to them like that, you're never gonna get what you want. You're never gonna get anywhere in life. Matter of fact, if you have a weird boss, not weird as in like sexually perverted, just like weird as in like, he's got a weird personality. I mean, you better learn how to pretend to like him, or else you're gonna lose your job. Um. So yeah, but I mean, I'm just a 14-year-old, so don't take too much advice from me. Next thing you know, I'll tell you that government officials are lizard people. So watch what I say, I guess. Um, but yeah, man. I think too is why people are so rude, especially in school, past like during middle school and a good amount of high school, not all of high school, is everyone's so mean to each other. And I think that just sprouts from the fact that everyone's insecure. Um, I just thought of that one song. It's like "You're insecure." Da-da-uh-uh. Yeah, that song's pretty fire. But it's like everyone's insecure, and they they basically just take it. I just farted. I don't know if y'all heard that again, but everyone's insecure. And they just hate each other because of it. Like if let's say I'm insecure about my nose, and I see someone with a beautiful nose, they're going around and be like, "Oh yeah, no, I got a good nose, I guess." People are mad at that person because the person has what they don't. So, you know, I I just like to think that people that bully me only bully me because they have less. In reality, people bully me because I'm quote unquote weird. But I just like to think, well, they bully me because I'm being myself, and they can't be themselves without hating themselves because they can't handle what other people say about them. They can't handle the fact that someone might call them weird. So, sometimes I just take the second to think like these people are bullying me because they wish they had what I have. And they probably won't admit it, and they probably don't even know it, but deep down, that's the reason. Is because they just want what I have. So, and I mean, the thing with it too is like you go to school for an education. You don't go to school to make sure that people aren't being rude to you. Let people run their mouth. Let people think what they want to think, and like let people run their mouths and don't get into fights. If people want to bully you and say mean shit, let them do it. It don't matter. But you know, letting letting people be rude to you and not really caring much, but still knowing like, dang, these people are rude, is a very powerful skill. It's very useful skill. And once you learn how to value that shit, man, you love life. You love life more than anything. I'm like low key locking in though. Like you guys can tell the difference in how good I am at the shit. I spoke way too soon. I spoke way too soon. I spoke way too soon. Yep, I definitely did speak way too soon. I got a little cocky there. It's okay. Um, but yeah, man. The thing is with this setup too, is like everything's aligned so perfectly where like when I look at the wheel, the way I'm holding the wheel, it looks exactly like it feels like I'm holding it in game. You know, like it just feels exactly like I'm sitting in this cockpit. I think the next thing is before I upgrade the wheel, I want a better headset because I use a Quest 2. I mean, like the Quest 3 and shit is out. I need a wider FOV, man. This FOV is shit. It's okay though. I mean, it's better than no headset. You know, I should probably learn from my own advice that I've been giving, like for half this video. Um, yeah, I mean, it's just like the thing with the headset too is like it's way better than a monitor though, because like a monitor, I mean, like the amount I see on screen right now would be like my FOV would be the amount I would be able to see on a monitor. So yeah, I mean, being able to do that and look around too is like magnificent. Cause like I can just look all around that bitch. But yeah, I don't know. Either way, no matter what people say, even if you're weird and you do weird shit, um, unless it's like killing people, let people talk their shit and just do what you like to do. Don't do it if it's like bad, like killing people or like lacing a girl's drink in a bar. But like, just do what makes you happy. Wait, now I sound like a serial killer because I also laughed weird. I'm scared. Please don't think I'm a serial killer. But um, yeah, it's like don't just do what makes you happy. Do what is great, and if what you like to do is killing people, I guess then, well, you're gonna rot in prison. I don't know what to tell you, but man, it's just like do what you want to do. Don't let people tell you not to do something you love, because doing something you love, man, like letting people tell you to not do what you like, is an all-time low because you're gonna not only are you gonna hate life when people bully you, but you're gonna hate it even more now because people are telling you not to do what you like to do. So not only are you getting bullied, but now you're getting bullied and you can't do what you like to do. So it's not worth it, you know? Um but yeah, if anything, dude, I would completely recommend doing something like this. Whether it's buying a simmer cockpit, building one, or just clamping it onto your desk, or like clamping a wheel onto your desk and calling it a day. It's so worth it. You don't need VR. You can just use a monitor, but I would recommend it just because VR just adds a bunch onto it and just makes it way better in general. Um, but if you want to go on a cheaper route, just get like a cheap $120 wheel. Holy bad turn. Just get a cheap $120 wheel and, just slam it into your computer. You don't even need a good computer because most race sims are so old, except for like Forza, and like not demanding at all. Like I don't think you understand how shit my PC is. I'm running this game ultra graphics, and I'm like, dude, it's running so smoothly. Um, yeah. I mean, like it's just so worth it. Alrighty, y'all. Well, I don't even know what time is it. It is. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 10:47 p.m.
Oh shit, it's almost 11. I got school in the morning, dude. Oh my god. Alright, y'all. Well, that's the end of this video. Man, I hope y'all enjoyed. I really enjoyed making this video here. I'm gonna get out of my shit really quickly. This cockpit is so annoying to get out of. But I mean, yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. Jeez, racing in this thing is like so fun. Oh my god, I'm dying here. I can't like get out. Fuck. Okay. I mean, yeah. Shit. My shit's like plugged into my PC. I can't really. Okay, there we go. Yeah, this is the shit right here. There's a little cursor thing I have. But yeah, man. So I enjoyed making this video. Thank you guys for watching. Seriously. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. I'll probably make another video soon. My guess is sometime around I don't know. I'll probably make another one tomorrow now that I think of it. I don't know, but thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.